The weather's looking lovely. Lovely British summer. This is the 4th of June. Come to the UK. It's lovely. So yeah, as my old girl's got a few cobwebs on it, I thought I'd better pull my finger out and get some things assembled. So that's what we're going to do today. We'll put the top end back on. So just as what I've done up to now is I've taken these studs out because I'm going to use the 2 outer dowel holes on the crankcases to line the barrels up. I'm not going to use the other corners because you want the barrels to float around a bit into the right of the head. So I took the studs out and stuck a reamer in there. That's what a reamer looks like, just by hand. And that's just got all the crap out of the hole because you've got a stud with a hole in it and you've got to try and get it down in it. So just cleaning it out really. So yeah, this is sort of ready to go. So a little bit of background, I've got some spacers to go on the bottom of these barrels. And like I said, I'm using the 2 outer dowels to locate. But I've also put 2 more dowels in, but they're going to be flush with the spacer, so they're not going to engage in the crankcase, so it will still allow a little bit of movement. Okay, so let's crack on. So these pistons have been honed to these barrels. So I'll just check that's the A, so that's that one. And that resonant chamber goes on this side. So first things first, we'll fit the rings. I've already gapped these. I've checked them and they're fine. But to do that, I just run through it. So stick your ring in. So just get it in the bore square. Get your ring gap feeler gauge and just make sure, first things first, a bit of strawberry jam. You can use raspberry jam if you like. Have a look where the little pins are. Right, so there's the little retaining pins that are on the centre line of those rings. So that's happy. Right, so that's the circlip in that side. Just really make sure that that is right in that seat. So then what you do, little end bearing, plenty of 2-stroke oil. Always, whenever I'm putting a clip in near an engine, I'll wear the piston like that. Just put an old rag around there. So if it pings off, you don't want it going in your crankcases. So I've put a skim of silicone gasket sealer on there, and it is still wet. So we're using the spacer as the base gasket. So we've lubed up the barrel. Now it's the exciting bit of trying to squeeze those rings together. What I'll do, I think, is I'll get that piston out. So top dead center gives me a bit more squeezy room. So all I'm making sure is that those rings are not going to be on top of there. And we'll give it a little wiggle. Go. So none of the bottom ones are going to get done up tight, literally just finger tight, or just a nip, because this is what we need. We need it to have a little bit of a movement, because it's important that we get all the head doweled into the tops of the barrels properly, because otherwise the old power valves are a bit, they can nip up. So. Right, barrel number 2, give it some lube, lubey love, second spacer, doing that. Okay, just make sure the rings are where they need to be. Again, a couple of bolts just to hold that in place. Right. So now we've got to stick the head on there. A little wipe over a bit of acetone. Just try and keep everything as clean as possible. When I had a look at these earlier, these are out of another engine, and I'll insert a picture, but they basically were just straight out of the mould and had big lumps of flashing in here, so I've just run a file in there, a bit of 2-stroke oil, not too much because you have to clean it all off in a minute. And they've got a little flat on the front that tells you which way the port is. So. We've got to try and give it the best hope to seal, really. Right, so that's that. Now the head, some clean. So before I put this on, there was one little bit I was going to do. Just put a little touch of copper slip on that surface there. So this is the modified head going on. We've got the service supplement, because I can't remember all the torque off the top of my head, but engine top end, cylinder head bolts, 25 Newton meters. These are numbered. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. But that tells you what order to torque that head bolt. Couple of BR10ESs. Just make sure we do this one. What I want to try and do is stop it when it's in its open position, and then just have a look up the exhaust ports and make sure that they're adjusted properly. So, that is open. Studs have been taken out, because when you send it away to be plated, they ask you to take everything off of it, every dowel, every screw, everything, because I think when they strip the plating off them, they have to put it in nitric acid, I don't think that likes steel, I think it eats it. Yeah, you can guess it's a couple of days later now. Right, turbo cap. So the gasket sealer's gone off. So I've just got to put little resonator chambers on, put the exhausts on, probably try and fire her up. So I've made some gaskets. With little resonator chambers. So let's chuck them on. So the next bit is the radiator support bracket. Okay. So I'll give it a couple of kicks with the ignition off, just to try and prime it. Ignition on. The next video is going to be putting all the bodywork back on it, but it needs a good clean before then. I feel like I'm in an 80s music video. Yeah, I started it up with some super premix in there as well, just to keep everything properly lubed up. So yeah, next video I'll probably stick everything back together, get it out on the road, do a little bit of a run in. So yeah, that'll take about 10 minutes. And then we'll go thrashing it. So yeah, if you like this sort of crap, then subscribe if you can be asked, and I'll keep making boring videos. Thanks for watching.